I need to know when my phone doesn't work in here.
Jim's number? I'll give it to you.
I have it somewhere.
No,
I'm SOS also.
I used to be able to text in this room.
Fourth location.
we should be able to text it out.
What do you have? You have Verizon, right?
Yeah,
Well, you should have Verizon. Yeah, Verizon used to work here fine.
Yeah, we should be able to text it. He's not delivered.
The board down.
okay. We have a quorum. So we're gonna call the meeting to order. All rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Present, we have Wayne Roner, George Andrews, and Keith Parcutt.
Jason will be here.
And Jason, I understand, is on his way.
Yes. We have a motion to approve the minutes from June.
Cool, thank you.
From June 5th, 2024. Meeting along with the agenda for August 7th, 2024, with members of the committee reserving the right to add to the agenda and take further action in the best interest of the district.
I did that.
So
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Okay, next property and facilities meeting will be October 2nd, 2024 at 5:30. Items requiring action, high school north and south new digital scoreboard. For price of $733,608.96 with discounts, Daktronics. Price per display with audio, $277,386 each. Audio upgrade per display, $74,682 each. Right here. 10. What's an SMD, fellas?
Surface mount guide.
Okay, upgrade per display, $22,512 each. See attachment 6A1 to 3. So that's where you would look, you want to look for, George, 6A1 to 3.
I'm trying to find it on.
You have to click the PDF, George.
What?
You have to click the PDF.
I'm trying to find it. I'm having,
There he is.
it's not me, I'm learning this.
You can touch it. Right here.
Right here. Maybe not.
You can
That's
touch it.
invoices, you gotta go to.
So
I'm learning. Thank you.
High school stuff. Yeah.
Thank you.
So question. Do I see a representative from the company here?
2 of them.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yep. Daktronics here.
So I don't know if you saw Rich comment on, I don't know if you saw Rich's comments
I did.
about, there's a question about the sponsorship on the bottom.
The number of panels,
The
right?
number of panels and how much, and how often we can change them, whatever, and that's the cost effectiveness of changing it and everything else. I mean, I love the board. I think it's a great thing. I was just questioning the sponsorship.
My understanding is the only time those panels we could change if a sponsor pays for that panel to be changed. So it's not like it's going to cost us. Am I correct in that?
Well, I wouldn't say it's gonna cost somebody to
Sure.
change that panel.
Sure.
You already passed that cost.
But the actual cost of, exactly,
Yeah.
whether we pass the cost of the change of the panel onto the customer. If not, it would just stay, we would just put generic panels in there, i.e., Timberwolves or however we would do that, or South Cavaliers. You follow me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a fee schedule on what the cost is?
I think that's for a later discussion.
Yeah, we would determine that.
With our marketing guy here.
Yep, exactly.
Now, who goes and gets the customers for our board? You guys or us?
You guys.
We would do that.
We work, and we'll cover this in this presentation. So we were asked to come here tonight to kind of present a little bit about the structure and some of that, we'll talk a little bit about Daktronics. We have a curriculum, Peter told me, Bard, we're supposed to do a Zoom tomorrow night, that got moved to Monday. We're gonna talk about our DAC curriculum, and then next Tuesday night, myself and our sports marketing person will come in and talk about the nuts and bolts about how we help the school district.
That's the finance committee.
Yes.
And then you do the,
Yes.
final one will be with the whole board on, the 23rd?
30th.
I don't know if we were coming to that.
I don't
meeting.
know.
Yeah. I'm not
So-
sure you would need to be there.
So we can, kind of go through just a little bit of our presentation. We can answer some of those questions as we go along, as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, just to scratch the surface on the marketing, it's a collaborative effort with us and the school district. We just have to identify a few key people that we're gonna work with in raising those monies. The nice thing with us, we don't charge a fee. We don't take any of that money, so what we raise gets paid directly to the school district, and the school district does what they want with it. And again, we'll have a more in-depth conversation about that next Tuesday night.
So are they gonna do the presentation then?
What?
Wayne, they're gonna let them do the presentation?
Yeah,
I mean, we're prepared for it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be I'm like, what are we waiting for? Bring it on.
So Mick's looking that up. By the way, I'm Joe Godfrey. I'm the Pennsylvania rep for Daktronics. I live down in the Springford School District, down by King of Prussia Valley Forge. And I cover all eastern Pennsylvania for athletics and the whole state through commercial. I'm joined here with Mick Spiciotti. He's our region leader. He's out of Baltimore. And he came up here tonight to help me out with this, this conversation as far as that's concerned. So I've been working, and we'll go through a little bit of a PowerPoint. We've been working with the school district, Denise Rogers, initially, probably over a year and a half ago when I first started with Daktronics. Been with Daktronics for about 2.5 years. We actually came up and did a video trailer presentation. We had some of our sports marketing folks up that day. Kind of stayed stagnant for a little bit, then we kind of kicked up again. We have the North Campus involved. We kind of created some renderings. We met with the facilities folks, spoke with Pete Bard. We put some initial numbers together down there, which we'll cover tonight as far as that's concerned. And, we're trying to now, kind of get to the finish line, working to find out exactly what you guys are looking for and how we can provide, those opportunities, to the school district. We'll go just kind of hop in a little bit to just kind of this PowerPoint here, and some of the folks were on an earlier meeting. We just kind of put together a little bit of a playbook with our video board because it's something just above and beyond just something that's going to go on at a football game or a soccer game. We really tie in a lot of things, as I mentioned, the curriculum. We'll tie in the sports marketing. We really bring in, we really encourage school districts and a lot of our partners throughout the country as far as getting the community involved. This can be used for graduation. It can be used for buddy walks. Some of our school districts in the area of Central Columbia, to be named one of them, they do a movie night fundraiser for some of their elementary schools. So it provides a lot of opportunity for not only fan engagement, but community engagement, in the area, in your case, at both campuses, as far as that's concerned. And then with the help of our sports marketing, teaching you guys how to create new revenue streams for the school district. So that's a little bit of a game plan that we put together. We're going to play a video now that talks a little bit about Daktronics. We're a U.S. manufacturer out of South.
A passionate group of designers, fabricators, project managers, sales, service, digital artists, tech gurus, and engineers. We're a US-based company we are Daktronics. We create some of the most sophisticated and iconic scoring and audiovisual systems on the planet that ensure your projects deliver impact. We were a passionate group of designers, fabricators, project managers, sales, service, digital artists, tech gurus, and engineers. We were a US-based company that started in a garage in Brookings, South Dakota in 1968 with this. That's the Maxside scoreboard, one of our first products, and it changed the game. Literally. Today, we're a publicly traded company with thousands of employees all over the world and customers on every continent, except Antarctica. So you might be asking, you just sell scoring and audiovisual systems? No. We do everything. We engineer, design, code, test, fabricate, bend, punch, insert, paint, pack, ship, install, and service dynamic audiovisual systems. Oh, and we also create the incredible content that goes on it. Sound like a lot? Well, we do it every day from our facilities in Brookings and Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Redwood Falls, Minnesota, and Esteban, Idaho, and Shanghai, China. But you're probably thinking, that all sounds great, but what have you done? We're glad you asked. Scoreboards, businesses large and small, campuses, complex transit systems, digital billboards, massive video boards in and around venues, booming audio systems, really big screens, and the control systems that make them tick. They're not all just rectangles. Ever see a halo board or a feather wall? How about dual hanging three-sided trapezoidal? You get the idea. They're unique. Looking to turn heads? We can even cover custom shapes or entire buildings in LED. Like I said, we do everything. And we don't just build, we service everything we sell, from installation support to troubleshooting, to display maintenance and upkeep. We've got you covered. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We don't only stand behind our products, we stand on them. Why do we stand on them? Because we tested it here at our state-of-the-art reliability lab. We also test our stuff against a lot of other things, just to see if they break. Spoiler alert, they usually don't. We call that the Daktronics difference. And that's why we designate millions of dollars a year for research and development. So our products are designed with the future in mind, and you benefit from groundbreaking innovations. But most importantly, we listen to our customers and together find successful solutions for their brand and messages to deliver impact. From the small projects to the large, that's what we do. We innovate, we design, and we light it up. We are Daktronics.
So I'd just like to show feel for about, what our company's all about. We're in about 75% of all professional and collegiate venues across the country. But we're in Times Square, we're on the billboards on the highway. We do a lot of stuff on the turnpike. So it's quite an operation as far as that's concerned. The most important part, like I think for the school districts, is we make our product. We're not buying somebody else's product and reselling it. And, if something goes wrong, things go wrong. You make one phone call to Daktronics. We have boots on the ground in Pennsylvania, from sales to service and support. It's one phone call. We handle all of our product as far as that's concerned. As far as the sports are concerned and content, we've done what, Mick, 23 out of the last 26 Super Bowls, just kind of throw that out. I'll go over a little bit, Mick. If we scroll down a little bit about some of the things we've done in Pennsylvania, I think the video covered a lot of that type of stuff, but just in Pennsylvania alone, we're in about, I think we're up to about 38 different high schools in the state. And we're in several of the universities and the pro venues. Just to kind of put a couple up here, we have Lafayette, we're doing Penn State this year, we're at the University of Pittsburgh. We do the Phillies major leagues and a lot of their minor league facilities. We're right over in East Stroudsburg. We do both their university, we do both their football, and we do their center hungs up there. Anywhere from, like I said, the high schools to Division III, Division I, and to the professional venues. Some of our recent Pennsylvania things that just went up over the last year, 2 years. We did Downingtown High School down in Chester County. They have 2 high schools that play at that facility. We just did Southern Lehigh down in Allentown. That went up last August. Our most recent board, Riverside over in Scranton, just actually got put up August 23rd. And we have Abington Heights is set to be scheduled to get put up in October, and they're building a multi-purpose field. So that's some of the, some of the projects that we do in Pennsylvania, and then just some of our most recent ones. As we get into some of the designs, and you're seeing some of the quotes there, we were kind of asked to put together, and again, we can do whatever anybody wants. We just got to, get a little bit of direction. This first here, this price, the 277, 368 is option one. That's what's shown on the quote. That is without sound, as far as that's concerned. So your video board, your East Stroudsburg North and South, and these will be the same size scoreboards. It comes across a little bit different. It's just because of the way the rendering popped on the board, but they're the exact same sizes. Mick, what do we have for the board space here?
Two sets of ID panels. So I know we talked about sponsorship, where it says home of the Timberwolves, where it says home of the Cavaliers, those are actually extra panels too. We didn't know if you want to use them for sponsorship or not, so we actually just put the school's name in there. So there's extra spots in there, extra spots.
14 feet by 25 feet.
Is the size of just the video?
Just the video board.
Yeah.
The truss, what's the total board space, Mick?
4, 3, 17, 6.
Well, it's right up there, 27 by
21 by 25.
21 by, yeah. So that's your option one without adding the sound, and that's our 16 millimeter product. I have an option two, but that was taking an ad panel. We since, with talking to Pete Bard, we were eliminating that. And then just option three is with our sound. So with our sound, it goes to 353. Our sound on that is in the center of the truss where you have the two school logos, the N with the Timberwolves and then the Cavaliers with the swords. That truss up there can be designed however you like. I think we still, I've talked to Denise about it. There's some things she likes. Some things that she would like to maybe see change. Chuck kind of liked the way that truss looked, but that's kind of up to you guys through conversation. If there's suggestions, if, we could put the two logos on the side, and, I don't know what you're branding, if you could just put south on the speaker or north on the speaker. It just really depends on what you can do branding wise and what you want to see. And we can have our artists kind of change that around however you like. The video on both boards. So if you just go underneath, the top corner under where it says, what's it say? ES North. So your video goes from that corner down to the 24. That scoreboard, everything in between, above the anchor panel and below the header, that's all video. So that can change. We can show live video on there. We're showing a look there where you see a little bit of the generic advertisers to the right. That can be barred out. That, you could put one advertiser there, 3 advertisers, however that wants to be designed. The live video can go, to a full screen. We could pop in there a full scoreboard. As far as that's concerned, we're able to tailor some of the different looks and some of the different scoreboards to your soccer games, your lacrosse games, or whatever else you may, kind of play out there. The anchor partner down the bottom, just so we're square on this, because it gets a little bit, kind of confusing to folks. That is, I think, a 3-foot board by 25. So that can be 4 sponsors. That could be 5 sponsors. That could be 1. That's basically shipped in an aluminum cabinet. If we go out and we get sponsorships, we would put the logos on there. There's no upcharge for that. So if you at the time of order have the sponsors, we can put all of them on. We could put 2 of them on, 1 of them on, really whatever you want. For example, Riverside. Riverside, we actually shipped the board with a 3 by 25 aluminum cabinet. Was basically all white. They just went out and sold 3 of their sponsors, and it's just kind of a vinyl cover. That'll go on here. It is right here. So it's a vinyl, like a logo that would get put on that.
Yeah, it's just a local shop.
Yeah, same thing. So
How intricate it is, it's either lettered on there or it's taken down and you put a screw.
You break those segments.
no, they're not broken. That's just a metal sheet there. I'm sorry. And you can divide it however you want.
Yeah, that divider is just a black piece of vinyl.
And on the main screen, it's 14 by 25, and 3 down the side, or is it just one main screen? And then,
It's one main screen. Just think about it as is an open canvas. It's a black, it's a mods. I should have bought the mod in. It's just a black screen. So if you shut it off, it's just a black screen like a TV. Is you turn that on, like for example, there where they just have their logo, they're having their logo go all the way across their video. That video there can be broken up into 2 or 3, maybe 4 different sections.
so you could do this down the side, you can break it up
Yes.
into
Yeah.
different
So here's,
sections.
like,
And
here's
you-
a
yeah, go ahead,
picture
Mick.
of Riverside that has just full screen. But then if you go up here to Central Columbia,
Yep.
we have the scoreboard on the bottom with a full screen video above it.
Well, I'm looking at the East
Oh,
Stroudsburg.
yeah. But then
One
here
where
in
you had the
Southern-
3
Southern Lehigh, he has it broken out.
That's it, but-
advertising, So you can.
And that's
you can
digital.
make it look however you want.
That's a digital look.
That's
That could,
digital,
you
yeah.
could pop that up, you know, for example, if it was like, if there was a timeout or in between quarters, if you were just showing, hey, we're going to show a shot of the stands, but we have sponsorship that we want to run through. We have 3 sponsors, 1 sponsor. You could, Coca-Cola or Gatorade could be up there. You could do a commercial. So that board can be segmented
That's
to
what-
however you want.
So you have the main board, plus you can do the.
Yes.
George, just think of it as, you're basically your television.
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
what-
like,
that's
you
what
can
I'm
do
referring-
whatever you want to.
Yeah.
You can divide in, if you could go split screen and watch multiple games or multiple
that's
things,
what-
that's exactly what that can do. It
Yes.
just depends how far we.
So in reality,
How far we
we
wanna
don't,
go
we don't
with it,
have
yeah.
to put any sponsors on the bottom.
Nope,
We can put the
do
sponsors on
not.
the digital.
You
You
can
could.
put it on the digital. However, and we'll talk about this more, those bottom ones will sell pretty good. Just for example, we work with schools, they may sell a $50,000 sponsorship that they'll get $10,000 a year for each sponsor for 5 years. And they're permanent. So they stay up there permanent. There's value in those panels. The digital, you can do all digital commercials if you'd like, as far as that's concerned, or digital ads up on the scoreboards. But there is some value when you're talking about the permanent ads for, what those panels cost and what they bring in, and you have room on it. As far as that's concerned, just because a lot of times you can go out into the community and pick some of your bigger donors and really have a bigger ask for that.
And the downside with using the digital screen is that you're then cutting into whatever you can do by showing parts of the game or whatever else you want to do with it. So, the advertising panel certainly would add value.
Yes. It's more about seeing it. So if you see it on the weekends, if there's a rec and park here on a Saturday, they borrow the field, you're probably not turning on the video board for a rec and park game because they're just gonna be there using the field. They might-
Right. They'll always see that.
Somebody might go cross game going on side by side. They will see the advertisement. If it's a digital one, the board's not on, not
Nope,
being
you're
seen.
not seeing it.
And since we're doing, I mean, like, there's the times where we would say, don't put permanent ads up is if we were doing, if we were recycling the structure and we didn't have enough room to really put ad panels on it. So we were limited to digital only. For a new structure thing, but basically think of, I mean, to put those ad panels on, if that ad panel is $3,500 cost, and you're talking about, pulling in $100,000 off of that with 4 different ads, you're selling 4 of those at $50,000 a pop, $25,000 a pop. There's certainly value for it. I mean, I would put them up, and for some reason, if it didn't work out, you can always take them down, but there is definitely.
Or leave them the way they are.
Leave them how they are.
Or there's some school districts that opt not to do any fundraising.
Understand?
And then they just put Home of the Tigers.
Yeah,
or East Stroudsburg.
course.
That's it. And
Yep.
They don't seek money from the community.
Agreed.
Yep, was there another question?
Just one question.
Yeah.
When you go get into the video play, right now you're showing pictures of like players on the field. 353 was sound. Now the sound is for what purpose will we need the sound for? We have sound, that would not be the sound for our stadium.
That would be their sound for the stadium.
Yes.
That would cover our whole stadium.
Whole stadium. That, we had bought this up here, that sound system right there, I mean, there's a lot of kick to this.
There, yeah.
It's
So
gonna
that would
cover,
replace what we
it
have in
will
the
cover
stadium.
everything you have in the
Yep. It
stadium.
includes a full sound system for the stadium.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
are legit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now, next question is, when you see the videos, the 353 is the base for the screen and the sound. We would have to have our own video sources throughout the stadium patched into that, correct?
Yes and no. So we provide a one input system. So if you have one camera up top, you can do one camera from the top, piping in it along with the scoreboard. But if you really get into a replay and a system.
Right.
We would suggest you try to get a broadcasting class involved or a CTE
Correct.
class involved in
Right.
that. And 9 times out of 10, you probably already have that equipment.
We do.
Yeah. So
We
you
have
just bring
switches.
that, you bring that equipment out there and you would pipe it into our display.
And it's just basic inputs.
Yeah.
SDI,
Yes.
SDI.
It's not, okay.
It's all
No,
basic.
nothing- no.
TriCaster.
Oh, okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
So what does the console look like if it's in the press box? How easy is it to operate?
It's an iPad. Give you a
It's an
software. base.
iPad.
They do all sports, yeah.
An iPad controls that.
It's all on an iPad.
On iPad. An iPad is wireless, so you can do it in the press box. You bring it out to the 50-yard line, you bring it out to the end zone, you bring it out to the far end zone, it will continue.
iPad for that?
So it's easy to operate.
Yeah, so what happens, and Mick's really good explain, I'll explain the part that like, that kind of helps. So if it's on an iPad or a laptop, you're creating buttons prior to. So it's just kind of a button. This is where the curriculum and some of this comes into play. So all this is pre-done. So we're going out for Friday night and the two campuses are playing each other. So there's a game sponsor on you show up games at 6 o'clock, 4:30, you push a button and pregame starts. So they would play music, they can put highlights up there, they could put your advertisers, your logos. You may have a touchdown spot. Then we get to the national anthem. You push a button, a flag comes up, they plays the national anthem. National anthem's done, flag goes away, goes back to the, kind of the scoreboard. So all these buttons are pre-made. You have a touchdown sponsor, first down sponsor.
So you guys work with our curriculum
Yeah.
teachers
Yeah, we provide a curriculum to the school.
to the school
And
so
that's
that
part of
they
the
can,
curriculum add-on.
we can have the kids learn how to.
Yes.
do-
Yeah, so we provide, there's a couple different levels of the curriculum. We provide the first year, and after that, $2,400 per year for the curriculum. It's online based, and the reason why we went to a subscription on it is we were providing curriculum in 2020. Well, in 2024, you were still getting the 2020 curriculum. We didn't have it, so we gave you one curriculum, that's what you built off. So we decided to go to this subscription base because now as we develop new chapters and change chapters around, we find enhancements, we give you all the enhancements. So every single year you get a brand new curriculum, essentially.
It'd be the same price for both schools.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We probably could figure out how to work that, but it would be we probably could do it a 2-for-1 or figure out how to do it. Because essentially we're selling it to the school district, we're not selling it to each school.
One of the questions was when I spoke to, can't remember her name, in the last meeting that we had a couple of months
Kim?
ago. Kim, yeah.
Kim's going to speak on Monday again.
Okay, for the finance committee, we were talking about licensing agreements. So we were trying to figure out, because you can't just get one computer and then say, okay, the whole class is gonna use it. You have to have a licensing agreement. And so we were trying to figure out how many licenses we can actually get for students, because you're saying you can use it in a broadcasting broadcasting class. So if you have a class of like 12 or 13 kids in there, or 15 or 20, what's the package per year that it's gonna cost, and how many?
I believe, and we'll dive into this more Monday, and
Right.
Mick can maybe look it up if you go to the website on it. I
Well, that's fine.
believe
So
it was
we
20,
covered
yeah.
that. Yeah,
I believe it was 2 administrators. That's why we're doing it by the 2 different
Right.
schools. You get 2 administrators at each school, so total of 4, and then 30 students at each school. So 30 and 30, so 60 students.
And that
Okay.
is, there's 2 different, we also have a DAC classroom edition too. Where we
Okay.
give you a full suite of the show control, the display studio. Where you get 30 lessons, 2 administrators, where, you're really paying for the licensing fees.
Right,
It comes
that's
down
what-
To the software, you're getting the software, but they can take what they create in the classroom,
And
save it
put
on
it-
USB, and bring it to the game on Friday or
correct.
Saturday or Tuesday, whatever.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that.
Yeah.
Because that's not gonna be cheap. So
No.
I just
So
want
that
them to
initial- that
understand.
Initial DAC classroom is $7,500, but
Right.
we provide a server, and then every year you just pay for the licensing for Microsoft.
And then she'll be able to
Yeah.
figure out what that's gonna cost.
And I'll go into
Okay.
much more detail on that Monday night.
Yeah.
And then is there any impact for our ESYA youth program for Sunday football games?
So, okay, so a couple things with that.
Training.
You could have somebody running the scoreboard,
Some-
but a lot of schools, some of the schools, what'll go on with the youth
No.
football
No.
is if
but
we
there are people.
had somebody trained or one of your students was coming out on Sunday to keep score, doing that sort of stuff on the iPad, that's up to the school district if they want to provide that access. A lot of things that'll go on Sunday to help with the sponsorship and driving some of the sponsorship. Somebody come out and they can turn on the video board and it can just play through some of your advertisement. It can play through your logos. It can play through if there's different things going on in the community, important dates, things that are going on in town. It's really what you decide to do with your relationship with that youth football or those kind of school district events.
So they'll still be able to use the basics on the digital sign.
My recommendation would be that we have someone from the school district.
Yeah, that's up to
employed To
you.
run it. We're not gonna give an
Yeah.
iPad over to a parent from ESYA to run this system. It's not, I don't think that's a good idea. We'll have someone, we can certainly have someone trained from the district to make sure that that's gonna be a role that they have, and it might be a cost. There might be something there that these organizations, should they want to use that on a Sunday, are gonna have to.
Well, I
at
need
least
to
pay
know
for the
what that
person.
cost is.
And that would be, that would be
It's not
from
on
the
them, this is
district.
on us. It's
Yeah.
not on Daktronics. This would be on us.
No, I would want to know what that cost
Oh,
would
we'd
pay
have
to
to-
ESYA.
Well, but it would come down to an hourly rate for somebody to come in and run it, because I don't think you're gonna want to give an iPad over
Right, you have
to
to
some
know our people.
average person that doesn't know how to run the system, because that could get ugly. If someone decides they're gonna put something in there that is not gonna
I'm
be
not trying to muddy the water,
appropriate.
but you can remove that iPad and go back to an all sport 5,000.
There you go.
But you still need somebody to turn the laptop on
That's
and
right.
operate the board, so
Yep.
you're
Yeah.
still in the same situation, no matter if you have an iPad
So
or an all sport.
we can work that internally. It would be an hourly rate for someone to come in. It could be somebody that just volunteers to do that based on an hourly rate. It's certainly not something that's insurmountable. It's not gonna be crazy expensive. But that's the way it should be
That's
done.
Fine.
Yeah, and we have people that do that and we can kind of connect you with that, but that's certainly, it's something that's handled internally.
Yeah, we would handle it internally.
I just want to make
That's
sure.
the safe way to do it, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Or you just do it for certain events,
Right.
championship, semi
Right.
champs, something like that, or you know, you're gonna do it on.
I think what
something
Wayne's
like
saying is currently,
We
they come
still
in on
need-
Sunday and use our board, they use the board right
that. They
now.
do right now, yeah.
Yeah,
So if we take the board away,
we need the time,
Yeah, no, I think.
down in
all-
distance.
I think all that can be done. I just
Yeah,
think that has
it's
to be
just
done.
a matter of-
See, it's not a problem.
For us,
we'll
like
figure
you
it out.
could run the board 24/7, 7 days a week and run ads on it or run the scoreboard. So that's just kind of like how you would kind of maneuver things internally and it'd be good.
And one other question, what is the lifespan of the LEDs in that board?
It's 100,000 light hours, it's what it is, so like the half-life is about 12 years. But technology is gonna force you to replace the display. So you're probably, we guarantee parts for 10 years. So probably that 13, 14, 15 years, you'll probably have to do a replacement.
A complete overhaul of the board?
Yep.
And and obviously
But
that's
we
not,
might- But we will support it as long as we have the
Right.
parts. So until we can't get the same LEDs or the same power supplies or the same products.
so just for financial purposes, the 355 is for the whole setup. If the board would obviously be cheaper than the 355 then.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Or just the panels, they're individual panels?
Yeah,
or-
individual
so-
And you're getting a whole new,
One pound
you're
of
doing a
actuals.
whole new
Right.
structure.
Infrastructure and everything. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
doing it.
So in 15 years, they're really just replacing the
Okay.
product,
Right.
not the.
It's,
structure.
look at it like a
Yeah.
turf field. The only thing the money is
Right.
underneath the turf field.
Yep.
In this case, the money's in the LED
Yeah.
panels, but that's all you're replacing is the turf.
But if one panel goes, you can always replace the one panel.
One by
We
one.
provide 2% spare parts, so you can get 4 or 5 modules. That way,
Right.
if there's an issue, you can replace that module, but you send that module back to Daktronics, we fix it, and send you back the module.
And I have one, I forgot to bring it in. I'll bring it in on Tuesday when I'm back up. I'll bring a mod just so you can look at it. Ours are sealed, weather sealed and everything. So if there is an issue, like Mick says, person can go up, it's an Allen wrench, they pop out, everything's daisy chained, you replace it and good to go.
Could you go back to option 2 real quick?
Yeah.
All right. In this particular layout, can that have sound?
Yeah.
Or is option 3 the only one that could be with
Yeah,
sound?
They'll just design it a different.
Okay.
look.
Because I just noticed the truss structure was different.
truss
I didn't
stu- yeah.
know-
The truss is different because this truss doesn't have the sound system.
Correct.
This truss does, that's just the way we put the sound in there.
Okay,
in
but
this
you can
truss.
still have the truss set up as an option too.
You want like this truss on top of this?
Well, with the sound.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if
How would
this
they do
option
that?
3 is the only one.
You would just have to like build it around.
Okay,
So you could push this truss like up to here to the level, and then you have to fill in that space, that
Okay.
6 foot space. And you can put ID panels up there. That's
Okay.
where you Put the logos, as well too. Couple different options. you know.
Okay.
and that's what I think we have to
Everything's
really
modular.
work with.
We can build everything with it,
Right, okay.
like Legos, almost pretty much, building blocks.
Cool.
And what's the turnaround on once everything's approved,
Sure.
what's the turnaround for getting this in? Because we were talking about this months ago.
Yeah, so what we're doing, and that'll kind of lead us into a little bit of the incentive program. So we have an incentive program right now, that ends on October 1st. And,
They have to
Yeah.
order by October 1st of this year. Our longest lead time is our sound system, which is about 14 weeks. But our video displays are actually 6 weeks or 7 weeks right now. So let's say we're 14 weeks or 3 months, but we have an incentive here, if you book by October 1st, ship, and it be ships by February, we have an extra 8% incentive in there. So you could get the 10mm upgrade, which is $22,000, you would get that at no cost because of the price of the display. Or you can take that $22,000 and put it towards the cost of the sound system. So then the sound system reduces from 75 down to 53.
That's why we're talking about it now.
Was that?
That's why we're talking about
Yep.
it now.
And we're also,
With discounts.
we also mentioned too, like you would do install in the winter, which is great
Yeah,
because
so
it'd be
we don't-
between seasons.
Yes, the incentive, it
Right.
just has to ship by February. The reason why we have this incentive is it's our slower time of the year.
Right.
Because we're coming out of the fall, we're coming out of the summer rush, right? And we are still installing scoreboards today that have to be operational for game on Friday night, right?
Right.
Like I have a video board leaving factory on Friday. It's arriving to Bishop McNamara Monday morning. It's gonna be operational for their game on Friday night.
Right.
So yeah, so that's the reason why. So we shipped probably, I don't know, 100 video boards here in the last like 4 months. And now we're down to maybe 40 or 50 of them. So the October, November, December is really our slower part. So, yeah, we don't mind installing in the winter. If you ask my installers, they'll probably tell you they'd rather install in the winter because they'd rather install in February than install in July. They can get warmer than they can get colder, you know, so yeah, so as long as it just gets delivered by February, which we should be fine, we should be able to make these and get it delivered for you guys. If we can install in March, we can install in February.
And what's your lead time on installation? Like how much you need?
If it ships on Thursday and it's here Monday, my guys will be here Monday morning putting it. It gets sent directly to sites. So because we have 2 boards, we would probably send 1 board to one site and then wait a week, we would send it to the other site the second week. So it would probably take us 2 weeks to install both boards, a week each. I don't think we can fit, I think with all the product, I don't think we can fit 2 video boards and sound, all that stuff on one truck. It'll probably have to be two dedicated trucks.
What percentage of your business is due to, for high schools?
In the state of Pennsylvania,
No, in general. 'Cause you're, electronics is big, not
Well,
in
you know-
other industries.
it's hard to say. In the professional market, Major League Baseball, NFL, we're 70 to 75% between that and all Division I colleges.
Electronics is also in a lot of other
Well, we also
industries.
do transportation, we do airline, we do scales, we do bridges,
Commercial.
commercial, all the right aids,
Yeah,
Walgreens.
You were a
CVS.
big name in
We are.
in the commercial business.
Yeah,
You were at every trade show I
okay,
was at, so that's what I was asking.
yeah,
In general, they list us as the world leader in pretty much every market
That's
that
what I
we're,
was
that we're in. But it's hard to say what percentage we have of the HSPR market across the country. But I would probably say we're easily 50% of the schools in the United States
That's
probably have electronics,
yeah,
if not more. It's really case by case, state by state basis. You come to Maryland, 70%, 75% of the scoreboards are electronics. You go to Delaware, probably 80, 85%. DC, 90 something percent. DC public schools are all electronics. So really depends.
And is Ann Catrillo, is she involved with the curriculum portion?
I'm not sure. I'll have to find out.
Actually, I
And
think
as far as the incentive, there's also, the upgrade, and then I think the other one was just depending if you want to do a sound or not. But there are 3 different incentives, but I think the best one is to either take the upgrade for the 10mm or put the money towards the sound system. We do 2 things.
Cool.
Is there a presentation on the curriculum portion of?
Monday night.
Monday night.
That's finance, right?
it was also.
Is that EPR?
EPR as well.
Is it?
Yeah, before.
Okay. Cool.
Great job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate having us up again. And then, I know Mick will break that down. If there's any questions, just, tell Peter. Peter will get a hold of me. Again, we just got to figure out that trust and what works for both schools and you guys, and I'll be back Tuesday night. So,
Does the municipality require permits on this type of installation?
most likely,
The permits are on us.
Most likely.
yeah.
We have to take care of the permitting. We have to take care of infrastructure with regard to any upgrade we need for wiring,
Power,
electrical. Yep.
one do
and-
secondary power, we won't do the primary.
Right, exactly. So we're just gonna have to go through the chains.
You'll need you'll need signal conduit that
Yep.
goes from the press box to the school board location.
Well, you have to have internet up north, right?
You do not need the internet to operate our displays.
You don't need
Do not need the internet. However, we recommend it, put it in there in case there's an issue, we can remote access it from corporate to diagnose what's going on. So we don't have to be here to operate it. To figure out, tell you guys what's going on with the display. We can remote access it.
And we included different content in your packages. We were including event production and training. So that'll be all done as well.
But to download content, you'd have to have the internet then, right?
Yeah, well, there's internet.
Yeah.
We have it.
Yeah, but you can also bring stuff on a flash
Yeah,
drive and put it in.
Just like what we did here.
Yep.
Yeah, our product does not need the internet to
Th-
operate.
George, just to kind of put it in perspective. Whatever you can do on this with regard to an exterior flash drive or hardwire something in, you can do on their scoreboard.
That's right.
Anything, doesn't matter what it is.
So one last question, on this particular board, when with the Cavaliers, this is screen here,
That is
No,
not,
That's-
that's an ID panel.
that's
So
not
the
even.
Cavaliers is an ID panel.
So the
intro
25
partner
is this, the
is
20,
just
14
that
by
middle part
25,
there.
whatever it is.
Scoreboard is.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Very nice ice cream.
and we put that Cavalier, that could be extra ad panels if you wanted to. So, yep,
I like the way that looks.
I like that.
looks nice.
That's hot.
Just gotta figure the trust. If we go with the sound, we gotta figure the trust. But no, man, I appreciate you guys having us up and the hospitality, and then we'll,
Could
I'll
the
wait
sound
for-
be in the bottom? The sounds would be in the bottom too, right? Or no, you prefer it on top?
It's gonna carry
We gotta
better up
carry
top.
Eh,
Gonna carry better up top, it's designed to be up top.
Okay.
Not that you can't put it on the bottom, but
Right.
it's
Not
a very powerful system.
All right,
It's gonna come out 95 decibels at the front of that sound system, and if you're within 20 feet of it. You're gonna.
you're gonna wear it.
So we don't need the rest, we don't need sound at the rest of the stadium?
Nope. Definitely not.
So we can create our own crowd noise, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you can pump it in there.
And we have an audio system, if you guys want to hear it, just the audio system, we can bring it back up, it's currently at a high school in Virginia right now, because the voice sound doesn't work, but we can bring it up. So we're letting them borrow it until we can get a new one installed.
It sounds like. I just want to make sure ESWA has access, that's all.
We can get it to him, don't worry.
I am.
Yeah, no, on our end, it's not a problem. So it's just kind of how internally.
We don't want to turn over a $353,000 system to people that can't operate it. That they're gonna. have
I
access.
understand
They're
that.
gonna have access.
All good.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. I'll
Thank
see
you very much.
Some of you next week.
Thank you.
We appreciate the time. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, District Universal Paper Towel Dispenser, Rob.
Yes. So a few years ago, we tried
going with Hilliard for a lot of our janitorial needs. We had them install paper towel dispensers at their cost. with the idea that we were going to take on them as a partner in many different other areas with my department, which I won't bore you with, but we did have many meetings with them, and the price of their towels have gone up insanely in the past couple of years. So just to give you an idea, we go through about 1,050 cases of towels every year. If we Hilliard's towels are $60 a case, which is about $63,000. For the $32,900, we can buy our own paper towel dispensers and use the IU bid that we do our joint purchasing janitorial bid. And we normally get them around $24 to $28 per case. So the savings upfront for this year would be $30,100 because after going through my inventory and going through my stock, we have in stock right now 1,200 cases, so we don't have to buy any towels for the first year. So instead of spending $63,000 this year on Hilliard's towels, and what makes it Hilliard's towels is they have notches in them, only their towels fit their dispensers. We can buy any towels on the market if we have our own dispensers. So this is something I've been wanting to go to. This is budgeted for because I'm absorbing the cost of what it would be for our towels for the entire year in purchasing these dispensers. So in lieu of the towels, we're purchasing dispensers. We have the towels already for the first year. Then after that, we do what we've always done, and we participate in the bid, and we get our towels at a lot cheaper rate, a third of what Hilliard would be.
And we don't have to buy the dispenser.
And we have the dispensers forever.
And that's with LJC, right?
LJC, it is a CoStar price. They really worked out a great deal with the manufacturer to get us this price. And yeah, we go with LJC with all of our janitorial needs, and they always do good by
Buy
us.
dispensers from them also.
Yeah. But knowing that they did have their own paper towel plan as well, where they could have gave us towels for free, but they said, they even steered me in the direction, buy your own and just buy them, and then you have them and you can go with any towel you want.
And this is in our budget?
This is budgeted for, yes.
It says no.
I know, I was a mistake. That was my mistake. But I did talk to Peter and I told him that it's budgeted
Yes.
for. And so I apologize for that mistake on the
So 32.9 is the machines, the towel machines?
Yes,
There's that much of a difference between three distributors?
yeah, I mean, I had trouble finding the distributor, so the price I got was Amazon.
Wow.
Chemical was
Okay.
75,000. And I actually got a fourth, but it was so much that I didn't even bother putting it on.
Cool, no,
Okay.
it's just amazing how much of a difference there is. All right,
I'm just gonna know, because you said it was budgeted. Just to make sure that 611 form is.
Yes, I will fix it. Again, that's my mistake.
No, I know, I just want to get it hung up. Awesome. Thank you.
cool, thank you.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
Subject 3, 447 easement right away. I put this on the agenda to give direction to our solicitor to.
I have an update on that. If you
Okay.
want it.
Sure.
We have been in touch with PennDOT. We're currently working with PennDOT through Chris Brown. And what we're trying to figure out is if we have any of the documents from when East Stroudsburg Elementary was actually built that would have the specifics of what we have to provide over to this other group. So Chris, as late as today, has been in contact with the folks at PennDOT, and they're working through these issues. In fact, I was supposed to check with Daryl tomorrow to talk and see if he has anything left over that came out of the development of that property for East Stroudsburg Elementary School. So we're all over it.
And this would be reflected on the approved land development plan, right?
When
Right
it's com-
away that they're looking to be transferred.
We know what we have to transfer. So everybody's in agreement that we have to transfer as part of the land development plan. What we're looking for is to see if we don't have to go through a survey again to get that done. If we have it from the development, if it's outlined in the development plan of East Stroudsburg Elementary. If we have to go through that, what we're going to do is we're going to use the same surveyor that's laying out the piece of property through PennDOT, and we're going to join forces there.
Okay, so PennDOT isn't gonna force us to do a survey, are they?
We're gonna,
Like I said, we know we have to provide a right of way. There's nobody's questioning that. The question is, if we already have the documents that outlined the right of way from when we developed the East Stroudsburg Elementary School, we will just turn that over and make sure that happens. If we do not, we're going to join forces
With
with,
PennDOT.
yes.
well, I would trust that somewhere in our elaborate record system in our district, we would have those documents.
Well, listen, you're talking from 20 years ago.
I mean,
Yeah.
you keep those kind of documents.
By law,
And
required.
By law, you know, you really, we
you're
have
not,
no problem
you're,
in the past.
you're not required to hold on to property and building plans. So just understand, I'm not trying to get into an argument. So, but we're doing our best. We're going to make it happen. It's going to happen.
Okay.
And there's a lot of other moving
And-
pieces here, but we are definitely working with PennDOT.
And I'm not bringing it up to cause an argument. Basically, I'm bringing it up is we've had numerous times in the past where we had an issue, say with this building, and we don't have the blueprints for this building. That why we would get rid of blueprints of a building is beyond me. You know,
And
something is.
And I can't answer that. I agree with both of you on the principle that
Okay.
we should clearly have the property development plans and any structural plans. We should have those somewhere. I agree with you. I'm
Alright.
not going to sit here and guarantee it
I'm
because
not-
then I
I'm
look
not
like an
doing it.
idiot.
I'm just shooting it out there. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
But we are definitely going to
Yeah.
make this happen. We know it has to happen. We're not arguing any of that. We know that this right of way has to be turned over to the folks at PennDOT.
So that is currently moving forward then.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, number 4, applications for permit or payment. This is with the CHA, Dewey.
No, the applications for payment, some are from.
I see.
Like Cove.
I'm getting,
Scranton Electric is asking for their first payment, and then the invoices below in E, yes, those are all from doing, Chop.
okay. So any questions on the invoices for Smithfield Flooring? Application 5 for $45,673.50. ESE Flooring for $38,252.10. That's with Cope Commercial. South Field House, application number 1, $6,086. Scranton Electric and Heating, so they have started, right?
What's that, I'm sorry? Which one?
The stadium,
Stadium.
Excuse me?
so clearly they've started,
Stadium?
yeah. What, furnace and boiler? North Phase 2 Storm Pipe Application 1, $8,883.49. On application 2 for $106,601.94. North Phase 1 Storm Pipe. What's that about? Application number 4 for $40,000, is that a typo? $40,054.70, that's with Rutledge. To me, Phase 1, is that last year's?
No, and I wish that Josh was on because he would be able to talk about that.
Josh texted me, he had a family emergency, so he's
I
not able.
received these applications from payments from Josh Bryce.
All right, so I'm not gonna recommend we pace Phase 1 because that was last summer, right?
For sure what that exactly is.
Well, I mean,
If it's money due.
my impression of this would be that they wouldn't have done phase 2 before they did phase 1. Correct?
Well, Stage 1 was last summer.
Does anybody remember the full cost of phase 1?
Phase 1,
$286,000.
phase 1 was $256,000.
Okay, so here's what they're looking for. What they're looking for then is they're looking for their fourth pay app from that. So they must be caught up. My guess is that the 40,000 is the balance remaining. Is there any way to tell that?
It should, there's 2 pages to this application.
Okay.
For payment. So everything should be on there. It is,
I'm going to go to the apps myself. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to confuse the issue.
It was, the total was 255,760, and that's the remaining balance of the total.
There you go.
I'm looking at the, right here, Wayne, the certificate. right
So
here.
then they're done with,
It's their final payment.
right. So they're done. So that's their final payout.
Is this from last summer?
If your claim is that phase 1 was last
No,
summer,
It says period 4-30-24.
April.
so that's,
There was no, my point is, there was nothing done in April.
doesn't matter. That's not,
Yeah, it does matter.
no, it
It says
doesn't.
application 4. It says application 4 on the top of the building.
Yeah.
We've obviously
Says
paid,
Maybe it's a
application
typo.
4. So am I paying for work that's being done now?
application number 4/30/24. That's only when they submitted the application for payment. They're showing their contract sum to date as of the 4th was 269. There was a change order for $12,000.
yeah, it's also an increase. There was a change order for an
Yep.
increase for phase 1.
Yep.
Why was the change order?
What's that?
The change order is $12,824.67.
Then we're talking about paving there, which they paved in phase 1, they haven't paved in this phase yet. So that would be.
Well, may I make a suggestion? We can approve it to go to finance and then for further review.
And I'm going to make another suggestion with regard to the North Campus. And I'll reach out to him tomorrow. I personally don't think we should be paying any more bills to Dewey until we figure out why we still have a hole in the wall at the intermediate school up there next to the pool. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
You've had it like that for a year. I've looked at it since June.
So,
Yeah, it's still open, of course.
Yeah,
And there's-
that's polyurethane.
Yeah. I thought
Um,
that was taken care of.
So my suggestion would be that we look at some of their bills for having to do with the North Campus, and I'll tell them tomorrow, we're going to hold bills until we get an answer to that, because I can't seem to get an answer as to what, if they're our engineering firm, how come it's not engineered yet? That I find that hard to believe.
I'm with you.
It's over a year. There's no excuse for it.
See that that's coming up in the invoices one, because they're saying that we owe them almost $37,000 for the north rooftop from Dewey.
And where can I find that in this? Is that here?
That is, it's section
CH,
E, yes,
section
section
5.
E, and it would be number
Gotcha.
2.
All right. So we really need.
Okay,
Josh.
And I'll speak to Josh tomorrow. I want to figure out what's happening with that, because there's absolutely no excuse to have a building open for over a year.
So we'll have
Ridiculous.
clarity at Monday's finance regarding these applications that Rutledge is asking for. Something isn't,
You'll either-
something's not right with phase 1. That bothers me.
Well,
It's not,
but the problem is you can't necessarily know how they build, right? So if they're billing for phase 4, maybe it's a mistake, but I don't think it is. If they've already been paid out 3 payments, then clearly they've done the work to get their I don't know the extent of the work. Is it just what they started, Daryl, in the front of the
well, I'm
intermediate
hoping
school?
it's just a misprint. It should probably
I
say.
mean,
phase
what has
2.
Rutledge done for us, Daryl?
They've been on the Lehman and library and
Yeah.
both sides.
Wayne, if you look at the project number for the application number 4 and application number 1, they're different. That's why we made sure that Josh Grice put on here phase 2. We have to make sure that when they start billing us for phase 2, that it says phase 2.
Yeah, it's up and I see that now on phase 2.
What I'm getting is if we owe Rutledge, if we owe them, we need to pay them.
Agreed.
Well, I don't question that, but I think that I was under the impression that when I look at my capital improvement charts from the past few months, I thought that was completely paid off. So when you throw me a curveball, I'm gonna question it.
Well, nobody, let's be clear. You can't say that someone threw a curveball. What we need is an explanation on this. That's all we need. So I just think it's misleading when we say that kind of thing and we're literally on a public system. I just don't think that's fair. So let's just be very careful.
Doc,
It's just,
then you don't know me.
well, I'm sorry, but
And you don't know me.
okay, well,
So.
what I know is I just don't want to put people in an uncomfortable position by saying that
So I'm
somehow
uncomfortable.
someone here threw us a curveball.
Well, I don't understand
Well,
number 6.
Then we'll get you the answers.
Okay, so I have to be outspoken about it.
But it's not fair to be outspoken
And
like
I
that
am
because there's a lot of
taking
people at this
advantage
table that
of
work
it.
very hard for this school district. And no one here is throwing a curveball or trying to mislead people because that's what it says. And that's just not fair. We have to be careful. We have to stop that. We don't want our kids behaving like that. We don't want our staff behaving like that. It's just not fair. And I do take offense to that. I'm sorry.
And vice versa.
Well,
Right. Point of order, if we need to pay Rutledge, we need to pay Rutledge.
and I will have that answer tomorrow.
Thank you.
And maybe we can clear it up before finance.
Absolutely. That would be the goal. I want them to get paid if they deserve to be paid.
But it does, I don't want to be the school district doesn't pay contractors.
Listen, we're supposed to pay our invoices within 30 days. So I find it odd that phase 1 is being received today.
Okay, well, we'll find out.
Number 7, Brassica HVAC application number 6, 105,000 for train. The North Campus HVAC application 6 for 81,160. That's with train. Any discussion? Next item. CHA invoices. Number 1. Brassica HVAC replacement invoice for $32,921.26. North Campus Lehman Intermediate School rooftop invoice for $36,971.02. Middle Smithfield East Stroudsburg flooring invoice for $12,008.24. South Fieldhouse invoice for $1,389.83. North Storm Pipe invoice for $4,120.20. Any discussion?
So just looking at these invoices to clarify, just for when it says contract amount, say E4 for South Fieldhouse, contract amount 24,609, previously billed 17,559.63. That's 77%. So we're paying them a contracted fee, and as the contract percentage is complete, they're billing us accordingly
Yes.
for their services.
That's how they all do it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, payment is typically set up at the front end of the contract, so you know exactly what you're paying out for by percentage. You're exactly right.
Okay, and that's for their services to assist us through this whole process from start to finish,
Correct.
Yes.
as our engineering company,
Yeah, and
where we used to have someone do that in-house.
Yes.
don't get me started.
A lot of money. All right,
Okay, number 6, change orders. East Stroudsbury Elementary, Middle Smithfield flooring, there's a decrease of 130,065 from commercial. And then North Phase 1 storm pipe, there's an increase for $12,824.67 from Rutledge. That's what you just mentioned was the change order.
and there's a reduction, it didn't cost as much for the flooring, that's what happened.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. I like when I said negative return.
So in the net, you're making out.
Yeah. And the floors look beautiful. I want to tell you, we walked through some of the buildings, George and I.
Yeah.
Before school started, and the teachers were just immensely happy with their classrooms that we talked to. I just foresee the cleanliness of our buildings being easily maintained now. And
I appreciate that. Thank
It's
you.
just, and the floors, the gym floors, everything we did this summer, the projects this summer really, I applaud the efforts of our staff and our contractors, because we opened this year with some pretty nice looking schools.
Thank you.
Not that they weren't nice before, but they're even nicer now.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
Okay, reports, Lyman and Ash. I haven't had any contact. So I have nothing to add there. Number 2, current capital projects. Any discussion?
No, it looks good to me.
Darryl, what's how long will Scranton be around? What are they looking at? You know?
I'm told that they are still in the procurement phase of the stadium. So I don't even know when they'll be around.
Okay. So we haven't seen them, so
I have not.
who are we paying? Scranton Electric? What was that for? Payment?
That's the stadium owners.
Isn't that what they're doing?
Where are you in?
So I'm paying them for no work?
Now, you're probably paying them
That's
to
probably
procure the
paying them.
boilers.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're procuring the
Yeah.
boilers.
they have to get order parts and there's an
Right.
upfront cost to the contractors. Kind of like in the beginning of the summer, we had to pay Wayfair before they started to get the material.
Right.
To get the flooring and all that stuff.
I just think it's odd we waited a couple of months.
Well, they more than likely waited a few months because they know they're not going to have manpower here. So they didn't want to be billing out for equipment and storing equipment, because they're responsible to store the equipment as well. And you have every right to verify that. The school district has every right to verify once they say they receive equipment, that they actually have it on hand. So they're not just billing us for equipment. We have every right to verify that it's there, that's in their shop.
Okay. Any other discussion? Good. Old business. Hearing none, items for discussion, project update. North Campus stormwater. Josh isn't around, so we're not gonna get an update there. Natatorium leak. Be the same thing. We need an update from Josh. HVAC, we're making payments. Last month's meeting, items for discussion for East Stroudsburg Elementary. He's doing, I guess we're going out to bid in this winter.
That's what Josh said last month, so, but I don't know if that's still a thing.
Well, I want to shoot for a summer project there. Middle Smithfield Elementary roof leaks. Any discussion, Darryl?
We've been after that. There was the major.
Stay on.
Excuse me?
Stay on those guys.
We are. There's a problem.
All right. Items for discussion, High School South. We just had that discussion. Bushkill, items for discussion at Bushkill Elementary School. Shed removal, is that a shed or is that a,
Remember if you said shed or what?
It's the
but-
modular in the back.
It's
yeah, it's a
actually-
modular,
I
right?
don't know that we should have had that on there. The old modular behind Bushkill Elementary, I'm waiting on quotes to remove that from the property. It's dilapidated and falling down.
Lady in one. Okay, that's cool.
How big is it?
Can't put it in your yard, Keith.
No, what I'm getting, no, what I'm getting, if it's big enough, maybe we could have the
24th,
fire
25th,
company
Paul.
train on it and let it burn it down.
They don't want to do it. They
Don't
won't do it.
They don't do it anymore?
When I took houses down in Stroudsburg, they wanted no part of
I'm
it.
just
Yeah.
trying to, you know.
No, 'cause we thought the same thing. Yeah, they don't, yeah. No, it's a great suggestion, but they,
Structure collapse, I don't know.
yeah,
Okay.
they just,
I-
there's too much liability if something happens. No, you're right. It's a great idea. But they,
Yeah,
yeah, you would
DEP
think it would
doesn't
be easy
like
to do, but
the,
they don't want to do it.
Smoke pollution.
All right.
Okay, K, North Bus Garage keypad. I'd like to, install one of those, ID swipes, so that our bus drivers have access to the North, Bus Garage. So I'm looking to build a consensus with the school board so that they can, right now, they're, waiting for, dispatchers to arrive, and they have the key swipe at the South JTL in order to get into the pod to get the keys to the bus. So I don't see why we can't get a keypad for the North.
Well, is there a reason why we don't have the swipe system up there at North?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get.
Well, this says keypad leads me to believe.
Keypad.
We're talking about saying, yeah, because if we use the swipe system, we know who's in and out.
Yeah.
That's what I would be concerned about. Yeah.
Well, I'm fine
The
with
keypad doesn't, because you're just entering a code, right? So
Yeah.
you want to swipe pad it. Okay.
So
So,
once people would be able to get in the building.
so I'm just trying, yeah, you know, swipe pad. That's all I'm trying to do there.
I got you. Yep.
Create
We want access.
Yeah,
The best way to provide it would be so that we can monitor who goes in, and who
Right,
goes out, and we can
that's
limit
fine.
when they're there.
Perfect.
Just like we do here.
Mhm.
gives them access to bathroom facilities
Gotcha.
instead of waiting
Yep,
and stuff
makes
like
sense.
that, yeah.
Makes sense.
Items for discussion, high school south dust collector. Not quite sure what that's about.
Again, that's gonna be a next month item. We're soliciting, we're getting quotes to replace the dust shaker at the wood shop at the high school south. Very old, very old. Bob Green couldn't even remember
which-
when it came.
I remember.
So
Yeah, we had that on the agenda.
we've been repairing it. We can't get parts for it anymore, so we're fabricating everything.
So you're getting close, yeah. Okay, next one is, a discussion on the JM Hill Elementary cafeteria tables.
Yeah,
We have ordered them, right?
yes, I looked into that about 6 weeks ago. They were ordered. The lead time on that was 6 to 8 weeks. So I will follow up with the manufacturer and see when the ship date is. Last time I reached out, they couldn't give me an exact time frame, but they still stuck by their 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay,
And now that it's about 6 weeks, I will reach out again.
okay, so, and we're working with who on that?
I have the company name. Let me just get it quick. It is. Hertz Furniture is where it was ordered.
Hertz Furniture.
Hertz.
And do you remember what the cost was for those 4 tables by any chance?
I do not have that on me.
I'll look at the minutes.
Yeah, I don't have that on me.
Okay.
My question is, do we know why they weren't ordered beforehand?
It was something he said, she said, I guess, I don't know, but I found out that it was just a delayed in order from the building, and then the business office, because it was so late in June, they said, let's wait till July 1st. So it was ordered after July 1st. So that's why it was ordered like second week of July, and that's what leaves us to about 6 weeks.
As a board that we had done it last year, that's what I was curious.
Yeah, and I was on the assumption it was ordered when I reached out last year. That's why I told the committee here that they were ordered, because that's what I was told, sold through. But apparently one party thought the other party placed the order and the order wasn't placed. So it was a mix up. And then also changing over to CSIU, it kind of got lost in the shuffle. So we made right by it. I spoke to Dr. Reese and everything's ordered and we will have them.
So what are they doing at the high school, at JM Hill? right now?
We're still using those older tables. It's just harder for my staff to lift them up and close them in order to clean and stuff like that. So
Oh, the
they're
state's
safe
usable
to,
then.
they're still usable. They're not, They have enough tables, they have enough seats. It's just replacing the older tables.
About, yeah.
Yeah, so they, currently, everything's fine. They're just, it's more of a safety hazard for my staff when they're cleaning, so we make sure it's a 2-3 person team when they move.
And the
them down.
4 tables that we purchased are the, I don't know, 12, 16.
16, same
red
amount,
table?
same amount of seats. We're replacing them with the same amount of seats.
Just check. Okay, next item on the agenda, public participation. Larry? Anyone on Zoom? Okay, hearing none. Advisory recommendations for consideration by the Board of Education, motions. All right, so, make a motion to recommend, make a motion to recommend moving forward with the Daktronics North and South Digital Scoreboard. I guess the question is, how are we going to attack the options, guys?
For me, I like the fact that when they mentioned it, that those 3 side panels weren't static. That they can just be removed at full screen and then leave the bottom board available for advertising.
Station.
So, and I do like.
The sound.
Right,
Go with the sound, definitely.
and I do like option 2's trellis system if they can incorporate that with the sound. I think that would
The
be,
nicer trellis without that box in the middle.
yeah,
I like the trellis with the main.
right.
Yeah,
But if they can incorporate.
I
that
mean,
with sound.
I mean, that's all visual. I mean, the main thing we have to approve is that we want to go with them for the 733. The 733 is, oh, wait, no, actually we go to
I
7.
think moving an option forward.
Yeah,
But, and then whether
well, it
or
would be
not-
750 with the sound. It was 750 something with the sound.
Hmm.
For both sides, yes.
And then it's, once we get that, and once we get that on the table, then it's just
The
fine
rest is just
tuning the
design,
rest.
the rest is just
Right.
design, yeah.
So I would,
They'll do the trussing any way you want it, they don't
Right.
care. That
I
doesn't
think we should
change.
go with the sound option for the 750.
That's for 2
If
sides.
that's gonna be for the whole stadium, that's well worth it, because our sound in our stadium needs to be
Yeah, they're
updated.
pretty good, they're really good sound
Do we want to
systems.
get rid of it?
Well, yeah, you know.
Yeah, 'cause ESU has it.
These would be your constant.
So
So
how do you want the motion to go?
I
Your
think it's one of ours, I'm waiting for the.
option 1?
I think
I
that's
think it's
option
one of our
3.
agreements.
I think that
Ah,
would
it's
be
starting with the
modified.
I didn't see the first word.
Is that?
All right, so how am I supposed to get your options? Sounds like we're using different components. Oh, there's option 3. Trellis, good, okay.
It's a sample.
So a motion to recommend moving forward, option 3.
That's digital.
With the sound enhancements
Yep,
and
option 3.
that's 750 something?
Yes,
Yeah.
well. it's
What you can do is you can just
277
say
plus-
scoreboards as proposed with sound, if that's what you want. This way you're covered.
That's a, you know.
If there's any confusion that you have with regard to the proposals.
And
That would be the
upgrades,
best way to
I
do
think the upgrade, yeah, and then just with the incentive upgrades and, yeah. I
And
think
then
we
they'll
can-
discuss with you the possibility
Right.
of adding advertisements and so on, and whatever revenue we generate.
That-
What's their
board-
date? October 1st? They need a PO by
Yeah.
October 1st?
Yes,
We're trying to move it on to the finance.
It's doable. So, yeah, absolutely.
Amy, then I guess the motion is to recommend the 3 options to the next committee.
So moved.
No, just option 3. Not
You
3
would-
options, right.
I thought what I heard was that you want option 3, which includes the sound system.
sound and the upgrades.
Which includes numbers 1, 2, and 3, correct? So we have a motion. Do I have a second?
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to recommend LJC distributors at 32,900 for paper towel dispenser.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Applications for payment, motion to recommend payments. All right. I'm gonna make a motion to recommend payments number 1 through 8. I'm gonna vote no on number 6. So how about if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8? I'm gonna recommend a motion to make payments.
So we're skipping 6.
Well, I'd really like to know what that's about.
If we owe the money, we owe the money, Wayne.
Yeah, but I don't understand why.
You find that out.
I'd
Well-
like to find out.
That's fine, but we still can, if we owe the money, we owe the money.
All right.
So here's what you
So
do.
make a motion 1 through 8. I'm gonna vote no.
Okay.
Make a motion to pay payment of bills 1 through 8.
Yes.
So second,
Second.
And then
Discussion.
Wayne, if I get the information, you can always pull it the night of the meeting, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's your option. This way
Yeah.
it's cleaner that way.
I just wanna, listen, I'm in the business of creating minutes. That's my job. So the reason why I'm voting no is because of number 6, North Phase 1 storm pipe. I don't understand application number 4. At the end of the day, it doesn't flow with me.
As Doc says, we can pull that and then.
I get it. I absolutely get it, and I get to vote again at finance, and I get to vote again at the school board. So all in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
No. Motion to recommend the payment of invoices to Dewey Engineering, 1 through 5.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to accept a change order for East Stroudsbury Elementary, Middle Smithfield Elementary flooring for a decrease of $130,065 with Coke Commercial.
motion,
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
aye,
Motion to recommend change order for North Phase 1 storm pipe, an increase of $12,824.64 to Rutledge.
motion,
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
aye,
Aye.
No. Reports, capital improvements, old business. Motion to adjourn.
motion,
Oh, no,
So moved.
the keypad, don't we want to have that
Oh,
on
you
motion
can't
to
have
recommend, keep the swipe?
Well, no, you don't have to, you
Don't
don't
have,
have to do anything. We're just gonna look into how we do it. What do we put?
okay, well, I just want to
Yeah.
give direction to make sure that happens.
Yep.
Motion to adjourn.
and yeah, I already motion, already second.
Okay.
Aye.
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 I just want to make sure we just swipe.
Just want to let you know, I got a lot of contacts. Yeah.
Hey,
Are very happy.
You working on it?
I have to go back up to Great Wolf.
Oh,
I just got back,
okay.
I just got
They
back.
finally
I was
started
in,
coming back.
I did, I had a show last